Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy Christopher the Great. You listening to the dopest station in Minneapolis, Twin Cities Wire. What's up? Hey yo, what's up? You listen to Twin Cities Wired. It's your boy Christopher the Great, and we premiering our new show, Kris and DMot Show. Thanks y'all for tuning in. We about to go ahead and get right into it. We got a list of topics that we want to talk about today. I don't know, where should we start? You know, we got the NBA Summer League. We got college players getting in domestic violence. We got our Minnesota Timberwolves making moves. UFC just recently sold for $4 billion, and two of their biggest stars are getting in all sorts of trouble. We got a lot going on. One I'm going to just start with just because we need it. Right now, we need some intro music, you know, and I could just make the intro music, I guess, or ask an artist friend that I know personally to just make the music. But while thinking about making this music, we can't help but to talk about the music that was playing on First Take. So everybody who listens to ESPN's show First Take that comes on, you hear a rapper, MC Wale. He does a song. I don't know if there's an actual title for the song, but the song starts off saying "Quack quack, what it do."
Well, it doesn't start out saying that, but he does say, he says "quack quack."
Okay.
What it do?
He says "Quack quack, what it do" in the verse. Okay.
In the verse. So we do need an intro, but whoever does an intro, they can't have any Animal Farm sound.
Yeah, we want bars.
You'll be instantly rejected if you write down "quack quack, what it do."
And you're dead serious. I mean that too. Don't send me no Child's Play Dr. Seuss lyrics. Like, I'm really gonna put up on the website on perryf.com. I'm going to put up a contest maybe for people to be able to submit some music. That's what we're going to do. So we don't end up with nothing like that. But if you're listening to this and you get a chance that you're an artist who wants to really be on something, like, we really need intro music for this show. It's the Kris and DMot Show. We're going to be talking about, you're going to see, just keep tuning in. So anyway, past that, since it's summertime and it's scorching hot, 100 million degrees out here in Minnesota, Minneapolis right now, we might as well talk about the Summer League because, you know, ain't much juking in the NBA right now. My guy, Tyus Jones, I've been informed, is the Samsung Summer League 2016 MVP. Any thoughts on that, DMot?
I mean, it shows that he's hooping in the Summer League. Obviously, you know.
I think that was a shot.
That's not a shot. I'm just saying it's a Summer League award. It's not the best. It's not the best players
right on
out there in the court. You know, you're playing against who's out there. Usually it's some rookies.
Yep.
It's sophomores, and then it depends on the sophomore how good they are, because obviously they don't want Carl-Anthony Towns out there working out. Last year they didn't have Andrew Wiggins. They sent Zach LaVine down there as a sophomore, but he busted 30 points a game, and they only made him play 2 games, and they were like, okay, that's enough. You don't need to be down here. So
let's talk about that, too, really, before we even move on. Zach LaVine had to go to even play those 2 games. To me, he solidified himself as one of the best young players in the NBA this year when he went from not starting to winning his 2nd consecutive slam dunk championship before he turned 21, and then starting and just going crazy for the rest of the season. To me, I don't even know how he was in Summer League this year.
No, he wasn't in this year.
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah, last year.
Okay, I was about to
this
say.
Year.
I was about to say I'd have been.
No,
very
last year they only made him. He only had to play 2 games. So what I'm saying is, like, usually like the great players, they don't really have to be down there. I think Tyus is inside a really interesting situation because Tyus has proved time and time again that he's better than the D League.
Yes.
So he doesn't need to be in the D League. which if you're not in the D League, well, where are you at? You should be in the NBA. But we just drafted a point guard, and we still got Ricky Rubio. The thing is, we don't have minutes for Tyus Jones.
That's interesting to me to hear that, because when they was in summer league, who was running the point guard more? I mean, I know Kris Dunn got hurt, so obviously it's really probably not a fair thing to say because he wasn't there. But that first play, I remember you playing when Tyus threw that alley-oop to Kris Dunn. Like, how do you see them actually fitting together? Like, do you think it's an either or one of them guys? Do you think?
I think they could both be on the court. I mean, you have some teams. Some of it's like a EuroLeague style. They have a 2-point guard system, but some college players run. North Carolina, they run a 2-point guard system.
Okay.
You see other teams, they run a 2-guard, having 2-point guards in their lineup system. So just like they said, they could have. We'll probably see Kris Dunn and Ricky Rubio on the court at the same time. And we even remember Phoenix. They had like 3-point guards on the floor at the time.
That's true. That's true.
So,
when they had Bledsoe, Isaiah Thomas, and Goran Dragic, I remember that.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I heard that some people was trying to get on Ben Simmons for sitting out some games in Summer League because he was watching the games with the coach instead of playing. And they like, oh, when Jordan and, well, I don't know Jordan. They said when LeBron and Carmelo and them came, they was playing in all of the games, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, do you want your star player playing in Summer League?
I personally think they should be playing. But I grew up watching a different era of basketball where these guys, even like Kobe and everyone, they played 82 games of basketball.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's weird now. These guys, it's normal to not play 82 games of basketball, which I'm personally not a fan of, because if I paid money to see the, New York Knicks versus, let's say, the San Antonio Spurs.
They're the worst with that sitting players, aren't they?
Yeah, if I'm paying money to see them, like, I want to see Carmelo Anthony and now Derrick Rose and Kim Noah, and I want to see, Tony Parker and Ginobili. So if I pay to see that game and they're not there, I mean, it's entertainment at the end of the day, so how are your people not going to be there?
Right.
And we never, Kobe, to the end of until he got hurt, he suited up for every game. MJ suited up for every game. If you go back and look at these players, most of them played 82 games. There was no such thing as sitting out for rest.
Right. That's strange when I see DNP, did not play for all those non-NBA fans out there, but when I see DNP and in parentheses they have rest, I do find that awkward. When a regular person with a regular job, or maybe 2 or 3 regular jobs, is tired, they still got to go to work. Twisted ankle, hurt back, and they make way less money. You know what I'm saying? Like, these players could literally play a year and almost just retire, like, from that. I'm not saying they will never have to work again or do nothing else, but it is very crazy when I see rest. It's like you're not even hurt. Like, resting because you busted your Achilles or twisted your knee or your shoulder or something, that's one thing. But just resting because you played 3 games in a row, it's like, so what?
And that's kind of the gripe that people have with Ben Simmons is he's young. It's not like he's old and needs some rest. That you can kind of get away with that with Tim Duncan. It's like, well, he's old. He probably needs some rest.
Right.
Some of these people, you have these arguments for, but it's like, Ben Simmons, what are you resting for, bro? Like, you're super young, and not only are you young, like, you weren't even playing in March, and that's not a shot at him, but it's just a fact. Like, some of these other dudes, they were playing longer than you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So it's like, what are you resting for, bro?
It's an interesting place because on one hand, I want to be like, well, they said the coach wanted him to sit, so it wasn't his decision to sit. So that's why I was like, if you were the team and it was your star player, would you do that? And then I do understand, though, as a player, it does say something that you actually just sat, though, and you didn't even, like, protest to get out. Like, I'm not sure if he protested, behind the scenes or anything, but the fact that you were able to allow someone to just tell you, no, you're not going to play, and you don't want to go and show all your skills while everybody else is. Because I think that it's interesting, like you said, he didn't even play in the tournament in March. Even I still think he's great, and I blame that on LSU. Their coaching system looked terrible. Like, I don't know what was going on last year at LSU. But when I look at somebody like Tyus Jones, look how much harder he has to work just to get a shot. He actually won a college title his first year as a freshman.
Someone needs some rest. I was going to say, like, Tyus Jones is, like, he played an 82-game season last year.
And he had to play in the D-League too, right?
Yeah. So he was out there, you know what I mean? And now this kid, you know what I'm saying, he had to go and play every single game in the D-League and work his butt off.
Yeah.
So I get I don't know, sit back, watch the game, that's what you got film for.
Right.
We watch the game of film. I think Ben Simmons, I think the coach is dumb for making that decision. I don't care, because who does that? And he needs to, you got to adapt. Like you said, he was at LSU, and we could sit up here and debate why he went there and how it wasn't good for him. But at the end of the day, he was at LSU, and he needs to get used to playing in the NBA now.
I agree.
And obviously he was not getting ready for the NBA at LSU. They probably did not. He didn't get too much growth out of that.
LSU definitely was a disservice to his starting point for his career. I'm going to say that. He might as well just came straight out of high school like LeBron, because I think they kind of stunted his growth a little bit. Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy Christopher the Great. You listening to the dopest station in Minneapolis, Twin Cities Wide.
How do you feel about players coming straight out of high school?
You talking about NBA players?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm glad you brought this topic up, because this is a topic that kind of bothers me, that there is even a reason. Like, I don't see the reason why they can't come straight out of high school. And the reason why I say that is because when I think about players, I can name you a bunch of players that were great straight out of high school. And on the reverse side, while somebody can say, well, I can name you a bunch of players that weren't great out of high school. But the thing is if they're not good enough or they're not ready enough, then just don't draft them. But there should not be a law or a rule in place to help facilitate colleges. I'm going to just call it what I think it is. Colleges are stealing money from these young men and women. Like, they take billions of dollars from these athletes. Athletes are not compensated financially at all. And I don't want to hear nothing about no freaking college scholarship. Regular people get that. So for an athlete that's helping bringing in billions, him or her, they need more than that. You know what I'm saying? They need more than that. And I think it's awkward because in baseball, they have a rule in place where you can come straight out of high school to the major leagues, or you can go to the minor leagues and you got to play there for a little while or something like that. Or if you choose to stay in college, then you got to stay there for a few years. Like, even something like that would be okay. But to just make a law, a concrete, you cannot come out of high school, because when Ben Simmons is 6'10", you know what I'm saying? Like what does he got? What is he sitting around in regular school at LSU for? That's a waste of time. I'm sorry. So,
well, the funny thing is when they made the rule, like, the only suspect player really at that time was Andrew Bynum. He came straight out of high school.
Okay.
Dwight Howard had came straight out of high school. He was a freak in nature.
Yes.
But the other players, when you go and you look at who was all the high school players at that time, the list was kind of nice. It was Tracy McGrady, who was a hooper. He had came straight out of high school. Kobe Bryant had came straight out of high school. At that time when they made the rule, obviously Kobe was a beast.
Yeah.
You had Kevin Garnett, who came straight out of high school. He was doing this thing. This was before Amari Stoudemire had fell off. He was another straight out high school player.
Yes.
And then LeBron James was young. It was not too young after that. So, I mean, I just named almost, that team right there. We put all those players in one team.
And so, like I said, I'm sure we can make an argument that they need to let them come out. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to be ready, but you just don't draft those people who aren't ready. If you need to stay in college for 4 years or 3 years or 2 years to get ready, because there's players like Stephen Curry, there's players like
Damian
Lillard. High
Lillard.
school. Oh yeah, Damian Lillard. There's a few guys who I could think of that went to college for a few years. They came out and it looked good for them.
Well, Dwayne Wade did 3.
Oh yeah, he did 3 years too. He did 3 years, and he had a great career. To me, he had a great career as a two guard. He's one of the best shooting guards in NBA history, as far as I'm concerned. But LeBron is actually, I'm not gonna say he's more successful than him, because I can't just say that. I don't agree with that. But what I'm saying is, it's arguably that going to college just doesn't make or break what you're going to be. You're just going to be who you are going to be. So if you need college and that experience, then cool. But I say if kids got to go, they got to go play for a Coach K or Roy Williams or something like that. You can't go and play at LSU. I don't even know who the coach is over there, but you can't go play at LSU and be forced to be in that system, because I've not watched the LSU game before Ben Simmons got there. The last time I seen an LSU game, I was so young. Shaq was playing there. I was a really, really small kid watching that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they definitely, I think part of me is like, this is America, man. It's supposed to be home of the free. So in that case,
yes.
Once you're 18, you should be able to get a professional job. Like, it shouldn't matter. Or at a minimum, they should be able to go to the D League.
And that, I agree. I'm glad you just brought that point up.
Play 1 year in the D League. Like Ben Simmons, they should let him do 1 year in the D League, and then at a minimum, like, that's worst case scenario. That's what it should be.
And then this is my thing. If he say that they even implement a rule like that, if he goes to the D League, and like Tyus or like Zach LaVine last year in Summer League, if he goes and he is just way better than all of the talent in that area, why would you make him play there for a year when he would be better served to learn from actual people who get paid to do this for a living? Like, he needs to go and play with NBA players. Everybody can't do it, but we just got to have this rule in place so that we're not like doing a disservice to people like Ben Simmons or LeBron or young Kobe or young Kevin Garnett. I just say that because it's like you said, when you're 18, you can go to clubs, you can travel, you can sign documents, you can be sued.
You can vote. You can go to war and die, get your leg blown up.
Yeah, you can go to war and get blown up by a C4 bomb carried by a robot. Who knows? But I just feel like at 18, since all of that can happen, I mean, who can't play basketball at 18? Kids have been doing it their whole lives. College don't teach nobody how to play basketball. You can play. Everybody who can play in college could play before they got there. I'm sorry to tell people that. If you didn't know that, college doesn't make anybody a great player. Now, you can learn and you can add on to your game from certain coaches, but I don't believe playing for any coach is the same thing. I don't think playing for Coach K is playing for the guy who coaches at LSU, if he still has that job.
I mean, he probably does.
No, he probably does. I mean, they probably wasn't expecting him to go to the tournament. Oh, man. Okay, so
I was going to say, speaking of college, man, you got college players beating up their girlfriend.
Domestic, people. I want you 6'8", 290-pound people to keep your hands off these women. Please do that for me. If you don't have sisters, you got a mother, you probably have an auntie. Please stop beating up these women. Now, I'm not going to cast any type of, because I don't know the whole situation, but, man, domestic violence isn't cool. It's not okay. What's my man name again? Brionte Dunn. Dunn from the Ohio Buckeyes. 6 feet, 250-pound running back from Canton, Ohio. Ohio's on, baby. Let's talk about Brionte a little bit.
His girlfriend called the police, and she said that he punched her in the mouth, choked her.
Punched her in the mouth and choked her. That's terrible. I never like to hear stuff like that, especially not from young African American men. Like, we got so much things in society that go against us and what we're doing all the time, and we just don't. We need to stop adding to these things. I don't. Oh man, I got a lot of sisters, so I don't like hearing about stuff like this. Like, but
So if this was your sister, how would you have handled this?
Man, if this was my sister, football player, basketball guy, whoever athlete guy, you touch one of my sisters like that, just know I am not even calling the police. I am not. We're going to be on you quick, too. Like, don't even worry about that. No pads, none of that is going to save you. So, if I was you guys, I would stop. Because one day y'all are going to hit somebody's sister who got a brother like me. And that's going to be very problematic for you. Because people like me do whatever they have to do to protect their family, like you should do. So this is my advice to you guys who find yourself in these situations where domestic violence happens to occur. Now, I don't know their specific situation, but if you find yourself in any situation where the argument is going to turn physical, meaning you get in each other's faces, you're standing up, your words and actions is now becoming body language, somebody has to leave. And you, football player, basketball player, baseball player, professional boxer, whatever you guys are, rapper, whoever, you guys got to be the bigger person. You just got to leave. I've not ever been with a woman I couldn't just restrain, if it even came to that, So I just don't know why they're getting into actual fist fights, Just, I don't know. It boggles my mind. Why didn't you just leave? If you find yourself in a situation like Brionte Dunn from the Ohio Buckeyes, I hope that Brionte can get some help. If he wants to call down to the radio station, he can do that. Call us at Twin Cities Wired. We can counsel you. I'm not a counselor, but, I like to talk to young men. Maybe he don't have nobody over him to talk, but how do you feel about the whole situation, like these domestic violence things? And, you can expel upon more things like besides Brionte if you want to.
Well, the first thing he's got to know as a football player, like, from an athlete point of view, he just killed his career getting in the league because you're not getting in the league with no domestic violence in college.
Man, they're kicking guys out the league.
So, I mean, when you just look at the situation, it's like you're messing up your career before you even get started because you're in college. As a father with a little girl, it's a risky move to put your hands on somebody else's daughter. So I don't know where some of these girls' dads are at, things like that. But and as a man, you're naturally stronger than women. That's what I tell people. I dated a girl who used to try to get a little physical with me. I would laugh at it because, come on, she can't hurt me. So with that being said, it's just like, it's one of those things like, at the end of the day, if you wanted to, most guys, especially an athlete, like, if you want to, you can knock that girl out.
Clean out, man. It's not even worth it, man.
Yeah, but it's not worth it. So from that standpoint, you got to be the bigger person, move her around and get out of that situation. He could have got out of that situation without punching her in the mouth. I'm pretty sure he could have.
I'm looking at these stats, 6 feet, 250, man. Unless that girl was the same size as Brittany Griner, I think he could have just walked out of that room.
Yeah.
Well, we'll move on from that, but we're going to stay on college because I heard your boy Michael Jordan signed a deal with Michigan State. He's going to be sponsoring the football team. I actually heard the cleats look really nice, too.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I think it's cool that he's going to be doing a football team because he already sponsored some schools. Obviously, the great North Carolina Tar Heels, Georgetown, and then there's some other schools that he sponsors out there. So,
right,
football would be cool. I know a lot of his shoes though they converted to cleats. Some of the NFL players, they got 9s and all kinds of different retro number Jordans that are made in the cleats. Yeah, Des Bryant's actually in Team Jordan. He'd be wearing J's out there. And who else? Oh, Victor Cruz. He's another Jordan player. So it's kind of cool. You'll see retros out there in the NFL game.
Well, I actually want to see him. I'll take him. You was with me when I got those retro 9s that one time, them white baseball shoes that got converted. Yeah, Jordans can convert.
Yeah.
I like 'em. It's a plus. Good luck in Michigan State. Good looking on that deal. Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy Christopher the Great. You listening to the dopest station in Minneapolis, Twin Cities Wire. What's Speaking of some other deals, NBA players is talking about putting sponsors on their jerseys. Now,
well, not the players.
No, you're right. Because the players, I'm sure, don't want that. But the owners in the league is talking about putting sponsors on jerseys. So now you're gonna see your favorite team not only run down the court dribbling with their logo. You might see State Farm logo or Progressive Insurance logo or something like that. How do you feel about logos on athletes' jerseys, like NBA sport, like major sports anyway?
I'm not a fan of it. I personally don't like the WNBA jersey with all that stuff on it.
I agree.
They've already shown that the Philadelphia 76ers, they're going to have the StubHub logo on there. You can look online and they show what it's going to look like to have the logo on their jerseys. The cool thing is, as a fan, it's not going to be on like the jerseys that you buy.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Because that's what I was initially worried about, is if I go to a store, now I got to have State Farm or StubHub on my jersey because I wanted to, represent for my favorite team.
Yeah. Now, I think, going back to Jordan, I do think it would be dope if his team had a Jordan logo on their jerseys. So
Mike better make that happen. He better get that jump man on them Charlotte Hornets jerseys. I wanted to bring it up because I had heard that the Warriors was talking about selling their jersey spots for $20 million. And I actually think that that's kind of cheap to be on the Warriors jersey. I think that that's pretty cheap. But, I guess you got to start somewhere. I wish I did have $20 million because I swear I would put my logo or the Twin Cities Wire logo on there or the Kris and DMot Show logo on there. Something to represent. It seems like it's pretty cheap. So if you got $20 million, if I was you, I would be trying to get in touch with the Warriors. Philly's only selling that StubHub slot for a few $1 million, though, in the contrast, in the comparison, though, just to let you know. I think it's weird. I don't watch a lot of NASCAR, but I think that stuff should stay on NASCAR. It's like, that's just how I feel about that. Like,
yeah, I don't want to see a whole. But if they keep it at one, my thing is I'm scared that it's not just going to stay as one little thing in the jersey.
It won't. It's going to be $20 million to be on the front, $10 million to be on the back, $5 million to be on the shorts. You know how they going to do it. Pretty soon it's going to look like they got on crazy cross-colored pajamas running around in the NBA, I'm sure.
Now, Nike did something interesting because they take over the contract in a few years. They're actually going to have the Nike swoosh on the jerseys too.
That's dope.
So they'll have the swoosh on the authentic jerseys now.
So that means Adidas is losing out once again.
Well, yeah. So the NBA dropped the contract with Adidas. Well, they decided not to extend Adidas' contract because they said they were focused too much on soccer.
Hey.
Which, when you see the jerseys with the sleeves, that's kind of a soccer thing. That was an Adidas thing. And I know a lot of the players really aren't. I don't know. I thought it was a goofy concept.
I'm never wearing a T-shirt jersey, just so everybody out there knows they're not cool. Okay? Everybody who laughed at LeBron because he said he couldn't shoot right with it on. Look, man, I don't know a guy who wants to play basketball with sleeves on, man. When we were young playing basketball, we would tear the sleeves off perfectly good shirts just so we didn't have sleeves. So whoever at Adidas made that decision clearly never played basketball ever.
Well, there's college players who play with T-shirts underneath their jersey.
Yeah, they must have skinny arms. I don't know what you would want to wear a T-shirt under your jersey.
Yeah, I've seen some college players do it. I've seen some high school players do it. Matter of fact, our own, who was it? Minneapolis's Lawrence McKenzie. When he was at OU, I remember watching him. I think he even wore a T-shirt underneath his jersey.
Shout out L, but I think that's crazy. I think it's crazy. It looks crazy to me. First of all, you're running around being very hot. Why would you want all of those garments on you? I don't get it. So T-shirt jerseys, bad idea. Down goes Adidas. Down goes Adidas.
I think this is their last year.
I find it interesting. How did they even get the contract over Nike?
I don't know. They wanted a new deal, and they just same way how they Nike lost their NFL contract because they had it. Well, Reebok. This is what happened. Reebok got the contract, and Adidas bought Reebok because Adidas actually owns Reebok now.
Oh, that's cool. Adidas making it do what it do. They own Reebok. Oh, man. So does that mean they own the old AI shoes, the answers and the questions?
Yeah, technically.
Oh, wow. Hey, I heard that they finna re-release those Air Pippins, them Nike Airs from back in the day.
Yeah, they re-released them before a few times.
Oh, okay. When I was staying in Los Angeles, I did go to the big Nike store that they had in Beverly Hills. No, that wasn't a Nike store. It was a Nike store or Champ store. I cannot remember. It seemed like they had all types of shoes that were supposed to be released and non-released, but it just looked like they had everything there at all times. So I don't know if shoes are out everywhere all the time or not. Those Pippins was classics, man. I don't think I would wear them today, though. They look kind of crazy to me to just say Air real big on the side of your shoes. But I remember them being classics when I was a shorty, though.
What if you had a throwback Pippins jersey?
I would wear it then. I would definitely wear that then. I would definitely wear it. I got mad love for Scotty, man. Shout out Scottie Pippen, man. He don't get a lot of love in the world out here. They be hating on him. I wanted to talk to you about Glenn Taylor because I didn't actually hear him say this. And, shout out Glenn Taylor. I think he's a great guy. He actually gave me a deal on some seasons. So I'm not going to say he personally, like he sells tickets, but he gave the okay for it to be done. One time I was at the office to get some season tickets. So anyways, you tell me that this guy's in the news doing interviews talking about the status of the team and people being traded and not traded.
Yeah, he was saying he does not think it's likely that Ricky Rubio will be traded.
Do you think he said that for Ricky, or do you think he said that so people would stop demanding that he gets traded?
I think he probably says it because he likes Ricky Rubio and doesn't want him to get traded. I hope that's not the truth.
Oh, man. Ricky Rubio, what is his career averages, man? I got to look him up. I want to say, let's just say 10-10. He's a 10-10 guy. You're definitely tradable if you're a 10-10 guy. I'm sorry. If that's all you're capable of at your best. And let's break down Ricky Rubio, because I like Ricky Rubio in this sense.
No, you don't.
No. I don't think he okay. I don't like any guy. All right, let's get this clear. I don't like any guy, especially guys I don't actually know in real life. However, I don't think he's a bad person. So let me start off by saying, because you got me feeling like I just talk terrible about him way too much. So what really it is I don't think he fits our team. He's a guy who will run the floor, he'll pass, and he'll try to play defense. And I say try because I don't think he's a great defender. I'm sorry. He does get a lot of steals, but those is mostly transition steals. He doesn't lock down his position or nothing like that. He gets torched by the premier point guards in his league that play his same spot every day. So that's my gripes with him. And when I hear news like after the season, him saying things like, I got to start thinking about my career. If we don't make it to the playoffs this season, I've got to go to a playoff contender. It's like, and what are you going to do on a playoff contention team? Like, I don't get that. So I got mixed feelings about Ricky Rubio. I want the guy traded because I think we can get someone better or just someone different. We have enough point guards with Kris Dunn, with Tyus Jones, and we had Andre Miller, who I would have rather kept on the bench than Ricky Rubio because he was way cheaper. I just think we got to get rid of him. We paid him too much, though. Glenn Taylor, you paid Ricky Rubio too much money. Nobody will take that contract.
Yeah, $2 million for Ricky Rubio.
You said $2 million?
$12 million a year.
Yeah, $12 million a year. Listen, man. Ricky Rubio, I know Stephen Curry's contract is going to go up and he's going to make more money, but the fact that he played some years at $12 million, Ricky Rubio should have never got that type of contract. I know you tell me all the time we got to pay somebody. Well, damn it, let's get somebody else in here and pay them instead. I'm sorry. And you know I just don't like him because of that 2009 draft, man. You know that is just terrible for me, man. That 2009 draft, it just stings when I think about that.
Yeah, we didn't get all them point guards, we didn't get the best.
Yeah, we got about 5 point guards, and Stephen Curry just happened to be in that bunch, and we just picked all around him like he wasn't there. Steph is my guy. Shout out Stephen Curry, man. Y'all gonna do y'all thing this year, man. Hopefully they don't do too good, because I want my guys, my Timberwolves, to be able to get up in there. Can we go to the playoff game in Minneapolis? I want to not host, but be a part of a game hosted at the Target Center during the playoffs. I would love that. So, Glenn Taylor, who else do we got? Oh, this is what I want to do, because I didn't want to leave this subject before I went to the next one. So check it out. Andrew Wiggins. You said he averaged 20.9 points or 20.7 points per game last year.
Yeah.
That is really good. He's not a guard. That is really good.
Well, he played shooting guard. So.
Oh, they moved him down to the 2 officially. So where's Zach LaVine come in?
Well, he was
coming off the bench for most of the year.
He was a 2-3. Yeah.
Okay.
And then when Zach did come here, he was a 3.
Okay.
Because the original starting lineup was Rubio, Wiggins at the 2.
Tayshaun.
Yeah, Tayshaun Bumprint. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Tayshaun
man.
Print.
He's still on the roster, too, right now, ain't he?
Yeah.
Timberwolves, what is going on? Why do we still have Tayshaun Prince on the roster?
Well, actually, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. Tayshaun Prince is a free agent right now.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, Timberwolves, do not sign this guy. Tayshaun Prince, I want you to get some money somewhere. Man, you just can't really help our team.
I'll take Tayshaun Prince for like $1 million a year, but we can't do that because that's less than the league minimum. So.
Oh, okay. Man, Tayshaun, you had a great career, man. You played in Detroit with Rip and them guys. You guys got a title. I think, man, it's time for some of you guys to hang it up or be a coach or something like that. Or if you're going to be on a team, man, you can't start. I'm sorry. We have a team that's nearly a college team as far as their age is concerned. So for this team to mesh, I just think we need more players like that who can play and run with these guys and they can come up together like Russell Westbrook and KD did in Oklahoma City for like 9 years. I don't know. I think we'll figure it out. Timberwolves, we coming. Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy Christopher the Great. You listening to the dopest station in Minneapolis, Twin Cities wide. What's I'm going to transition from basketball and jump to this UFC for a little bit. Now, I don't know how much you watch UFC. I don't watch UFC often. Like, I watch it, I go out, I see the fights, I know people who like watching them. I'm more of a regular boxing fan, but I do watch UFC sometimes just to watch people get pummeled. So, my guy, Jon Jones has tested positive again for, did they say sports enhancements or was it a drug?
It was, they just said doping.
Doping.
But the drug that it was like it was a drug that covers up you using other drugs.
Oh, masking drug, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the interesting thing that you said that.
It was a supplement.
A supplement.
That he's not supposed to be using.
Well, because it masks other drugs. Of course, you can't use that.
If anyone saw his press conference, go look it up. The first one, when he first got caught, before they had to do the second one, I knew he was guilty. One, he was being so quiet. He didn't want to say anything. And my thing is this, if you know you didn't do something, what are you going to do? You be like, man, I didn't do it. Did he say that? No. Why didn't he say that? Because he did it. And
You're right. Because if you call me, I'm speaking up. You know, if you just sitting there.
Hell no, I wasn't doing that. Man, they got me messed up. Like, he didn't say anything like that. It was just,
You said he was way too quiet for your taste.
And he was really depressed. Like, he looked sad. Like, bro, I'm busted sad. Like, he got caught cheating on his girl.
Wow.
So, and then he started crying. I was like, oh, man.
Oh, he cried at the press conference? I'm definitely going to have to tune into that. Did you watch it on YouTube? Or was it on TV?
I watched it live on ESPN.
All right, for everybody who got ESPN, if you got Direct TV or anything that shows you all the channels, y'all go check that out. I'm going to go check that out. Try it on YouTube. They be mostly showing everything. I see people get killed on YouTube, or I guess not on YouTube, but online. So go check that out if y'all want to see that. I definitely am going to go check it out. I think it's interesting, though. Because, see, I knew that he got in trouble for doping. I didn't know that it was for a drug that masked other drugs. Because Jon Jones was in trouble previously with the MMA and had to vacate his title because he actually is like 13-0. He hasn't gotten beaten by anybody. But he has to vacate his titles last time because he got caught using cocaine. I liked Jon Jones. Like, he was one of my guys that, like I said, I don't watch the sport like that, but he was one of my favorite fighters. I seen the hunger in him. He was young.
I don't think they should kick you off for cocaine. It's not like cocaine helps you cheat.
I honestly find it very interesting for the things that they try to stop people from doing, because it's not like everybody in the world gets tested for these things. It would be interesting if politicians, senators, lawyers, everybody in the world had to be tested for drugs, because I would like to see how those numbers would come back, But, needless to say, if I was an athlete and I was making a lot of money from doing a sport and one of the rules was you can't use drugs, then, well, damn, while I'm collecting checks, I'm just not going to do it. That's just me personally. Everybody do what you want to do, but I look at it like, oh my gosh, I'm losing names right now. Football player, guy from, he played for the Miami Dolphins, had the dreadlocks. Ricky Waters.
No, Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams, when he played, and I hate to bring this up, man, to be throwing salt on somebody who's probably not doing nothing else, but he actually retired from the NFL because he couldn't smoke marijuana. I think that that's interesting when people will give away millions of dollars to do a drug. Like I said, I'm not judging nobody. You do what you want to do. Whatever keeps you floating is your life. You got one life to live. Live it to the fullest and have fun while you're here. But, man, don't let no drug stop you from getting money. Don't do that. And not just Jon Jones, because I read when you told me about Jon Jones even first getting in trouble with that, I think you brought up Brock Lesnar as well. And when I looked online...
Minnesota's own Brock Lesnar.
Minnesota's own. Shout out to Brock Lesnar. He did go to the University of Minnesota. Shout out Brock Lesnar, one of the best wrestlers ever from here. I don't know, maybe he was the best. He's a bully. I wouldn't want to be standing in a cage with that guy. I'm going to just say that. But
especially on them drugs.
Especially not on no drugs. No, I'm serious. I'm not standing in a cage with that dude. Like, not in no cage. I'm not saying that I wouldn't come to do nothing to nobody like that, but it wouldn't be in that cage where he get money at. I'm sorry. So he won the fight, and they thought he was going to bring the sport back because it was on the heels of UFC just selling their sport to a group for $4 billion. That is a major flip. Every time I say that, oh my goodness, $2 million to $4 billion. Wow, oh my goodness. So, but anyways, they did that, and it was on the heels of UFC 200, and it was supposed to be this big fight, but all of their stars is losing. And it was another loss because Brock Lesnar won, but he got found with the same doping masking drug, I guess, that Jon Jones used. So I don't know if he's on something or if it was an accident, but these trainers, whoever's working in their corners, man, these guys got to start doing better. I would like to hear more from those guys to see, what they got to do with these things. But what you think about the UFC, all of their major stars just like going down? Miesha Tate lost after she beat up Holly Holmes, who beat up Ronda Rousey, who was their biggest star since Conor McGregor, and he lost. It's like, what do you think about that?
I feel like baseball, the sport has no integrity. Yo, I'm going to keep it. I got to say something about baseball, too, while we talk about sports.
Oh, yeah.
Lack of integrity in the sport. As soon as this era of steroids is over, how come you do start, how come they be throwing no-hitters all the time now? Like, it used to be like a fantasy if you heard about a new hitter. Like, you never heard about people throwing no-hitters.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, everyone's throwing no-hitters.
Right. I'm with you. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Because back when they first started using the PEDs, I remember when Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire were going at it for the home run kings. Like, baseball made a lot of money off of that. And everybody should have knew nobody should have been hitting home runs like that. However, they didn't check into it until after they were done making money off of them. That's the thing about baseball I don't like. Because like you said, all these no-hitters, somebody should look into this and see, okay, what's going on with the spike and all of this great pitching all of a sudden. Just like with the batting. It was good to watch all them home runs. I actually liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. It made baseball much more enjoyable. However, you guys should have knew something was up. These guys are just too big. I mean, baseball players aren't even that athletic. Like, why are they so strong? Why?
Well, here's the funny thing with that is it's like how they go from all of a sudden everyone's hitting the home runs to now everyone was on steroids, everyone's hitting home runs. Now we get rid of the steroids and now everybody just happen to be throwing no-hitters now.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think they should check that out. I mean, they don't have a salary cap. They don't have they don't have no, like, they let kids come straight out of high school. Like, everything in baseball does seem like it just kind of just goes. Like, it is the one sport where I don't know who runs it. It seems like they got one commissioner for life or something. Like, I don't know really what's going on in Major League Baseball.
I feel like they just got a new commissioner.
Just get one? Okay. All right, well, shows you I ain't been watching new baseball. I'm going to check out some Minnesota Twins games. It's like 2 million games in a baseball season. Baseball is fun to play, though, for everybody out there trying to get it, play baseball. And so all my young kids out there who never tried baseball, try to play baseball. You might get a $300 million 5-year contract or something. So throw some pitches, hit some balls. It's actually pretty fun to play if you got some coordination to yourself. What about this football news? I want to bring this up before we stop talking. I heard that they're talking about putting a chip in the football. Did you hear that?
Make sure it's not deflated and cheating dudes.
Well, that's not why. That would be a good reason. I would think that would be one of the reasons. or so we can see where the position of the ball was at, or, so we can see if somebody crosses the planes to make a touchdown. But no, what the NFL wants to put a chip in the football for is to see how they can make it harder for field goal kickers to kick field goals, because they said field goal kicks are at an 85 percentile completion rate, and they said no other, like, there's nothing else that high. So they said it must just be too easy. So they want to know if they got to thin out the uprights, if they got to push them further back, if they trying to come up with a way to make it more difficult to kick field goals. They want it to be low, like 40% or something like that.
I think that's stupid. What's wrong? Leave it the way it is. It's part of the game. Like,
I mean, it is. I find it interesting that they trying to make it harder on kickers, harder on defenders, and just easier on quarterbacks. Like, I find it very interesting what the NFL does. At some point, I just wonder, when do you leave the game alone and let the rules be as they are, is what I wonder. The NFL is always changing and making up something. They're like your city making up policies and laws. Like, every single time you turn around, it's a new rule, and I don't get it.
I'll put it to you like this. I don't have a problem with their changing things is when science finds out new things for player safety.
Right on.
Like, that's cool, because these dudes be jacking their bodies up for our entertainment. So some of that, it does make it easier to score in the game, but at the end of the day, like, I don't think anyone's legs should be permanently fucked up forever, because a lot of these dudes, they go through that, like, yeah, they made millions, and people are like, oh, you got millions of dollars, but yeah, I can't walk straight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's not a fair trade-off.
Like, that's kind of a messed up trade-off.
It's like if somebody walked up on you with a briefcase with $10 million and it was like, let me break both your legs and both your arms and you get to have this money. It's like, would you say yes?
Yeah, hell no. And that's my thing. People, they're like the trade-off.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't want to see people with concussions. That's real. I don't want to see people, like, it was sad. R.I.P. the great Muhammad Ali, who passed away not that long ago. It was very sad when I seen him when he had first had, well, I don't know if it was when he first had it because I was young, but I remember watching the Olympics when he lit that torch, when the Olympics games started. And I remember how his hands were shaking and stuff like that. Oh, man, if that's from head trauma or getting hit too many times and stuff like that, we do got to have we got to give these guys a break, because even though we love to be entertained and we love to watch what they do, I don't think that it's fair to them to have to be messed up because they make money, because there's tons of people in the world who make money that don't have to have injuries to their body or to their brain or to their bone structure. I mean, you know, one of my favorite players ever, Kobe Bryant, he dropped that 60 points. I was so ecstatic to see that. But, man, my man limped off that court. Like, he probably still ain't picked up a basketball since that game.
Yeah.
You know, and that's 20
Kobe,
years.
Like, well, they even talk about, like, Kevin McHale, like, how he walks funny. No, he'll never walk the same. And this is basketball. We're not even playing football.
Yeah,
You're talking about basketball.
That's crazy. And that's from that up and down, running up and down the court, jumping, stumping, your back hurting, people banging into each other. Athletes need a little bit more respect. Y'all got to pay them. Pay these athletes. Pay those college players. I mean, everything will go, man. We got to let this money spread and do what it do. I'm finna get ready to let you give some shout-outs if you want to give any shout-outs or anything like that. And we can sign off, man, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, man, I just want to say, yo, people start taking care of your money right. Looking to get life insurance from somebody. I ain't going to say who, from somebody. Look into it. It's very important.
It is very important. I'm going to side with that. If you're going to get some life insurance, call a company, a reputable company. Somebody like New York Life or something. That's what I would do if I was you. Call somebody like that, and I think you'll be in there. They got great reps. I know at least one great person there who's making things happen for that company, and I hear a lot of good things about them. So I think you should look into it with all this stuff going on. I just want to shout out all of the people in Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Paul, the Twin Cities, and everybody who listens to Twin Cities Wired. And y'all just stay tuned. Keep it locked. It's the Kris and DMot show, and we signing off. Peace. Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy Christopher the Great. You're listening to the dopest station in Minneapolis. Twin Cities Wired. What's up?